Welcome back to Balance and Thrive, where we explore the intersection of work, life, and well-being. I'm your host, Kemi Afolayo, and we will continue our series on communication. Today, I'll be speaking on how to influence decisions and behaviors of people in the workplace without formal authority or power. So, we are looking at influencing skills for professionals. I will start in my usual manner by sharing a real life example and practical tips to help you find harmony in your work life. We have Jake, a project coordinator in a construction company. Jake noticed inefficiencies in manual inventory tracking. He believed a digital inventory system could save time and reduce costs. But management was hesitant to invest in new technology. Without formal authority, he researched digital tracking solutions and compiled success stories from other construction firms. He first engaged site managers, gaining their support by highlighting the daily challenges of manual tracking. To strengthen his case, he presented industry data proving that digital systems improved efficiency. Instead of focusing on technical details, he framed the system's benefit in terms of preventing delays, reducing waste, and improving cost. To demonstrate its effectiveness, he piloted a simplified digital tracking method using spreadsheets. He also secured support from a senior project manager who advocated for the idea in leadership meetings. Rather than pushing for full implementation, he suggested a small-scale trial on one of the projects. The trial showed significant improvement in tracking efficiency and material waste reduction. Seeing the positive results, management approved a gradual rollout of the digital system across all projects. Jake's strategic influence led to meaningful change, proving that leadership is not just about formal authority. Influencing decisions and behaviors without formal authority relies on building trust, credibility, and strong relationships. Here are some of the key strategies to achieve this. Developing expertise. When people see you as knowledgeable and skilled, they are more likely to respect and consider your input. Your ability to establish trust with colleagues through consistent communication, being reliable, and showing empathy would also go a long way in your ability to influence decisions. Communicating persuasively. So frame your ideas in the ways that resonate with others, using logic, storytelling, and sometimes emotional appeal. Demonstrate the behaviors and the decision you want others to adopt. So you lead by example. And that is why we say actions sometimes speak louder than words. Understanding other people, what motivates them, would help you to align your approaches to their values and as well as their interests. So you need to be genuinely interested in other people. Also, people are influenced by group behavior. Or to get other people to support, it's important you get a buy-in from a group of people which will influence others adopting that. Your ability to present your ideas as a solution to a real challenge rather than being a directive would also get a buy-in. You might also need to gain allies who can support and amplify your influence, especially using your network or your social group to influence decision. You can also inspire others by painting a very compelling picture of the benefit of your proposed ideas. And that is why it's important you yourself must have a clear vision. Lastly, engage in active listening. Make people feel heard. Make them feel you're listening to them. This will make them more receptive to your ideas or whatever you are selling. So I'm going to talk briefly about the principles of influence, and I'm going to use Robert Cialdini, a psychologist and an expert in persuasion, to discuss some of the key 6 principles of influence that can be used to explain how people can be persuaded in various situations. These principles have been widely used in businesses, in marketing, and also in leadership. So the first principle is the reciprocity. People feel obliged to return favors or gestures. So if you give something of value, they are more likely to respond positively in return. So a team of leaders brings coffee to their colleague or offers assistance on tasks without expecting immediate return. Later, when they need help with a project, co-workers are more willing to support them. So your ability to reciprocate is very key. Commitment and consistency. And a good example is when people commit to something, either verbally or in writing, they are more likely to follow through and stay consistent to that decision. A good example is a manager that encourages employees to publicly commit to a company's initiative, such as improving customer service. Once they've made that commitment, they are more likely to follow through with actions that align with this goal. Then we have the principle of social proof. People tend to follow behaviors of others, especially in uncertain situations. If they see others endorsing a decision, they are more likely to do the same. A good example is a department is to adopt a new software. The team leader showing case studies or testimonials from other companies that successfully implemented the system, making the employees feel more confident making them feel more confident about the transition. So with that, it will be easy for them to accept such change. Then we have the principle of authority. People are influenced by credible experts or authoritative figures even if they don't have formal power over them. And a good example is if an employee wants to push for a new strategy but lacks formal leadership, to gain credibility, they need to reference industry experts, research studies, successful examples, making sure that their proposal is more persuasive. Another principle is the liking. People are more likely to be persuaded by those they like or trust, making relationship building a very key aspect of influence. A colleague that builds a strong relationship by engaging in casual conversation, being helpful, showing genuine interest in others would have a likability factor. So when they later ask for collaboration or support on projects, people are more inclined to assist them because they like and trust them. Then we have the principle of scarcity. People perceive limited resources or opportunities as more valuable, creating urgency and increasing demand. So a manager announces that only a few employees will be selected for exclusive leadership training program. The scarcity of such opportunity will motivate other employees to work harder or even express their interest in the professional development. So remember, influence in the workplace isn't just about authority. It's about strategy. It's about trust. It's about effective communication. And by applying these principles that I've just listed, anyone can shape decisions. Anyone can drive meaningful change. So That is all I have for today's episode on Balance and Thrive. If you have enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Until next time, stay balanced and thrive. Bye.